Alright gang, here's today's exciting project. Half shaft on the right front passenger side for those of us in North America, and a new hub assembly. This one is used, low mileage, but it looks like somebody dropped it, so I got to straighten up this backing plate and then get the car up on the lift and then start our disassembly. Before we begin, let's verify that our parts will indeed fit. So this is the hub spline, right? And it's going to be really, really tight and most likely not fit at all. So what you do is take a Dremel and grind down in between the valley section of these spline teeth and just take, 4 or 5 passes per spline. It takes a while. And then verify it to the hub that it's going to fit straight in that hub. And then you'll know you got everything you need in there. Okay, all the room you need. It'll slide together and you don't have to hit anything with a hammer or anything like that. Okay? So, we verified that. We got the wheel off. I don't have my shop light set up yet. I'm just getting situated here. So we're going to take this off. Remember my blocks, wheel spacers. These are just 3/4 inch. That's easy. And then these are aftermarket. I couldn't get originals, and they got beat up pretty good when I changed out the struts. So these are aftermarket ones I'll take off. I think it's 16 or 18 millimeter for the back of the caliper. We got to get that off. And then it's like 18 millimeter for all these down here. All these little ball joints and tie rod ends and so on. So to do that, we're going to use a couple of special tools and break them out real quick. I have the lever type tie rod splitter, 36 millimeter for the hub. That's pretty straightforward. 7/8 for the lug nuts. I don't use the Land Rover socket. I found that works better actually. And then this guy. This is a standard tie rod separator. Pretty straightforward stuff. This one as well. However, I had to grind mine out so it fits on the lower ball joint. So if you grind out that opening, and not much, a couple of millimeters, 1/8 of an inch each side, it will fit on there and it'll push that nut down so you pop out the lower ball joint. Okay, the lower forward ball joint, or control arm, excuse me. Not that guy, but that guy on the bottom. This works really well for that. All right, so let me get to that point and I'll show you. All right, here's where I'm at so far. The disc is off, the brake caliper is dangling. I got a bungee cord holding that puppy up. Now I can properly route this one. When I changed out the airbags, I misrouted that. It's supposed to go behind the strut, not in front of them. So, and then I already got that nut loose. Pay attention to the wedges you have to drive. See the notches in the end of the shaft. You actually crimp or smash the end of the bolt just a little bit so it doesn't back off. Then you just beat that through with the center punch. And next we'll take this bottom bolt out and start splitting the ball joints and whatnot below. And then we'll swap out the hub. So I got the control arms off. You can see right there I got my 21 millimeter on that one. That one was an 18, and the tie rod in the front was an 18. So whatever hardware you use or parts you use, sometimes your hardware sizes are going to be different than factory. So, but while I'm here, I'll show you how this little guy works. So that's the rear upper control arm, right, the base of it. So this guy, I know my lighting is poor, sorry guys. Trying to do it all one-handed and everything else. So this we thread all the way in, and this will fit on the end of that tie rod end. Okay? So here, I'll show you real quick, like. Let me get that stupid bolt off. That helps. Boom. See? That lines up rather nicely. Okay? And the other one, we're going to use that lever type right here for the other one because you got to push it down. So this one will go in through the ball joint like so, and then when you tighten this, everything will go into place. So I'll show you that when we get there though. So now I'm getting ready to pull the shaft out. So what I wanted to do is show you one technique, because I've seen everybody with pry bars, trying to get the shaft out and things like that. And it's actually much, much simpler than that. So it's not going to get too far past the sway bar link or anti-sway bar link. So what you got to do is kind of manipulate it. So that's what this bar is for. Okay, show you that in a sec. So to get it out, all you got to do is plunk it out. Lift this. Almost there. Once I do this. That out of the way completely. All right, give me a sec. So with the shaft out, I had to disconnect the sway bar connection because like a bonehead, I forgot to undo it. So with that out of the way, you lift up with the bar the same fashion, like I was doing. And then you grab it and you take it out the front side with the sway bar disconnected this time. And it came out pretty easily. You got to fight with it. It's a bit of a wrestling match, but you'll get it. So now we can focus on that little devil, especially now that we've got plenty of room and easy to see. All right, so let me get my tool set up. All right, so I got it all apart. Got the shaft out, of course. You see the hole there. The vehicle speed sensor or traction control sensor, ABS sensor, whatever you want to call it. Both ball joints, tie rod end, and sway bar link. I went ahead and disconnected the right height sensor just as more of a cautionary sort of thing. I don't want to put too much movement in those things because then they fail. I have noticed because the left one, that's how it failed. Anywho, so this is looking pretty good. Everything's nice and the way it should be as far as disassembly is concerned. So now I'm going to go ahead and prep up the other hub, transfer over the ball joint because that ball joint is still really good. It's only been in there a couple of months. And then we'll get this puppy slapped back together. It's just going to be a reverse process of basically disassembly because I'm not changing anything. So I'll show you when I'm getting ready to mount the wheel. And there's the finished product. Now, this hub was used, okay? You can just barely see it in there. This hub was used, and I bought it for a 2007 Range Rover Supercharged like I own. The junkyard that I bought it from sent me the wrong hub. So what that means is, you can't tell, but I had to take the backsplash off, the backing plate. So now I'm running it without a backing plate. You can't really see it there. Yeah, a little bit. I don't have my light, sorry. And I did the other side as well, at least so they're even. So there you go. Is that going to change anything? Not really. Up here it keeps the slush out, so that actually may help a little bit. So, in summation, I finally got done. The job took me, I don't know, about 2 hours, but I was thinking around with other stuff too. Because the junkyard or spare yard sent me the wrong hub with the wrong backing plate on it. It's getting cold in here. I just cut it off, like I showed you in the last little clip there. So both of them are cut off, and both of them are running without backing plates. So it took me a little longer because I had to go to the driver's side or the left side and cut that one off just so at least they're even, because My OCD would be going crazy. Everything said and done, pretty straightforward. I can't stress enough how important it is to prep the spline into the hub. Even if you're buying a new half shaft to go into an existing hub, you still have to prep that shaft because they're not going to go together very well. If they do, hey, good on you. But they probably won't. So take a Dremel or other small little rotary type grinding wheels. And in the V portion of the splines, you want to grind that down a little bit just so it's smoothly fits into the hub itself. And then you don't have to hit it with a hammer or anything like that, okay? Because then it'll blow out the CV joint itself, and then you're back to square one because now you need a new half shaft. So everything went pretty well, pretty simple stuff. I live in the north, of course, so lots of salt and so on, and we're getting back into winter, so I gotta make sure everything's got a nice coating of anti-seize and everything else. Is this a job you can do at home? Absolutely. I'm in my garage. I didn't use any power tools at all. Just the stool I'm sitting on and my creeper. Just simple stuff. Hand tools, largely. So a very, very simple process. And I didn't cover every little minute detail because it is a self-explanatory sort of evolution. But if there's something you get stuck on, please feel free to, comment below. I try to get to them within the hour. Of course, if it's in the middle of the night here in Eastern time zone, it's going to be a minute. But other than that, I'll get back to you straight away and give you whatever answers that you may need, or I will find it for you. Because we're all going to learn together, right? All right, so any other videos you'd like to see, please let me know. Until then, I'll catch you later, and we'll see you on the next video.